Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome to this edition of Lancaster Perspective. I'm Mike Miller, and my special guest today, Tom Clark from the Lancaster Soapbox Derby. Welcome, Tom.
Thanks for having me, Mike. Appreciate it.
Glad you're here. A lot of activity going on. I know you're busy from the taping today until next week. And we're going to talk about all the aspects of Soapbox Derby, but you've been doing this for 38 years.
38 years. I went to my first race up on Main Hill in 1957. My cousin was racing. I was just a little tired, and I said I want to go watch him race, and I watched him come down Main Street Hill on the west side, and I got hooked, and I've been wrapped up in Soapbox Derby ever since.
This has been, and we talked a little bit off air, there's a lot of stuff I did not know about the Soapbox Derby, but the 59th year of the Soapbox Derby at Derby Downs.
Derby Downs, I'm sorry. I was thinking racetrack. Which was,
how did that come about?
Okay, back in the 50s, when the Soapbox Derby was run on Main Hill, it ran 1956 and 57 on the west side of Main Street, and the lanes wasn't equal. One child kept winning all day long. One lane kept winning all day long, so they decided the next couple of years they would move it to the east side of Main Street Hill, and that was 1958 and 59. Same thing happened. One lane kept dominating all day. It wasn't fair. So the officials at that time, Mr. Jack Furness, prominent businessmen back in that day, decided that they would move off of Main Street Hill and find a place to build their own track. So thus in 1959, right after that race on Main Street Hill, they went out shopping, looking for a facility, acreage to build their own track. And so in 1960 became the first race at Derby Downs, 3060 BIS Road. 21 acres they bought, and they held the mortgage on that property for about 10 years, had it paid off through broom sales, dinners, raffles, etc., and we've been there ever since.
That's fantastic. During that time, we've had a national champion.
This will be our 59th year, and back in 1962, the second year we were out at Derby Downs, Teddy Morrow won the Class B division and went to Akron, Ohio, and he finished second in the world. So we hung our hat on that for quite a few years until 1986, when Tammy Jo Sullivan won the Masters division, went to Akron, won the world championship, and since then we've got another world champion. So we've got two world champions that's competed at the All-American, which is a worldwide competition. And so we got two world champions. Hopefully this year we'll get another one.
Fantastic. And it's kind of family staying at Ted's daughter, Helen.
Ted's niece
Helen drove, and she did
won
pretty well too.
She won 2 years ago. She won the Masters division, went to Akron, Ohio. And she sat out last year, but she's coming back this year. Right. She's 17 years old, and she's competing in the Superstock division. So maybe she's trying to get a double crown there.
Yeah. Helen's a product of Byrne Union High School, and great kid.
Yes, she is.
Let's talk a little about sponsors, because it takes money to do this, and I know you've got a couple of sponsors that have really helped you out.
Yeah, we couldn't survive without the sponsorship, and thanks to the community and all the sponsors and the people that come aboard. We have Pine Lake Estates. They are title sponsor, they get top billing because they contribute the most. And then we have the 40 and 8 and the American Legion Post 11. They were one of our major sponsors. And then we have our other sponsors, VFW Post 1380, the Moose, Legion of the Moose, and the Moose Riders, and AMVETS Post 1985, and Precise Welding. And we got a new one this year, 915. It's a land company. She owns some property in town, and she come aboard as a major sponsor. So without, the support of these people, we would not be able to survive.
If somebody wanted to be a sponsor next year, because the race is coming up actually in the next week, contact you directly, what's the easiest way for somebody that wanted to be a sponsor to get a hold of you?
Call me on my cell phone. It's been in the papers. It's been in Town Crier. It's been out in our website. My number is 740-974-4795, or you can get a hold of Andy Dunn. His phone number, I believe, is, don't have it on here.
503-1754.
Yeah, that's Andy. He's our Derby director. Okay. So either one of us will hook up with you and welcome you aboard.
Now, in the last 38 years, we've talked about the new track. We've talked about, what have you seen from the beginning to?
There's been quite a bit of changes over the last 38 years. Back in the 70s, of course, it used to be just a boys' sport. Boys ages 11 to 15, and it was very popular back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And then, of course, the females got involved, and a mom filed a lawsuit back in 1973 because they wouldn't let her daughter race in the soapbox derby. She won the lawsuit, and 2 years later, girls started competing in the soapbox derby. So that's a big change. And then another change is that the cars aren't built anymore. They are assembled. In other words, you don't build it from scratch anymore. You have to buy a kit from the All-American, and those kits, we got 4 divisions, so the prices start from $400 all the way up to $600, depending on what division you go in. So, that has changed, but it's still just as much challenging and competitive as the old soapbox cars. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now, is it the technology, has it changed any from when they used to build cars to the cars now, or
the technology is different, obviously. They're plastic cars now. Back then they were wood or built out of masonite or laid over fiberglass. They're all plastic cars now, and they're pre-assembled. I don't want to say pre-assembled, I want to say pre-manufactured. Right. It's a mold, and then it comes with the shell. The floorboard's already pre-cut, pre-drilled. It's just basically a kit that you put together. If you could build a model car back when you and I were kids, you could put one of these together. So it varies. On the stock division, it takes about 8 hours to build a car, versus the master division takes a little bit longer because it's a more aerodynamic car, more sleek car, so it takes a little bit longer to build one of those.
I'll ask the question, can you pick whatever color you want, or do you have to paint them, or are they already
Well,
painted?
they come in 3 different colors.
Okay.
And the stock division and the super stock division comes in red, white, or blue. It's always been the All-American theme. And the Masters division, you could actually paint that car any color you want, or you can wrap it in vinyl. There's so many beautiful cars coming to Akron in July that, they give designs for the best decorated.
Wow, that's neat.
Yeah.
The race is coming up June 21st. That's a Saturday. Free admission to get in.
Free admission.
Starts at 9 o'clock, but before that, there's all sorts of activities throughout this week. Talk a little bit about some of the stuff that's going on, because you mentioned a parents' race. Yeah,
we have something going on for the entire week. The first day, which would be Saturday, and that's check-in day. All the cars have to be at Derby Downs no later than 3 p.m. for check-in, inspection, get weighed in, and all that stuff. And then the following day, Sunday and Monday, will be the trial runs. We'll make sure every kid that's participating goes down a hill, make sure his brake's okay, his steering's okay, And
Now,
then,
do they get one trial run or like two?
they go down 3 times.
Okay.
Every kid gets to go down at least 3 times. And then on Wednesday night is the Powder Puff Old Man's Race, where we get the adults involved in. We got adult cars, so they come out.
Is there a weight limit?
Oh, no, we don't have a weight limit. But yeah, this is where the kids get to tell their parents how to drive the track and how to steer and things like that. So it's a fun event and keeps the families participate in the whole week activities out there. And then, of course, Thursday night will be closed. Mm-hmm. And Friday we'll have the big picnic. And we'll have the judging of the Queen contest, and we'll have a DJ out there for dancing and spinning tunes, and then Saturday will be the big race.
Now, when the race starts, how many heats does it have?
Okay, every heat consists of 2 phases.
Okay.
You got phase 1, phase 2, and the winner out of that heat, which is 2 phases, one has the best time will advance. The loser of that will go into the consolation bracket, and they'll have a chance to come back up. So every child is guaranteed to go down that hill at least 4 times.
Oh.
4 times. So, like I said, every race is 2 phases, and it's determined because we run a double elimination timer swap. So we want to send the fastest, best car to Akron, Ohio to represent Lancaster.
All right. Now, the race itself, is it just Fairfield County or is it surrounding counties?
No, we're open to the following counties. It's Fairfield, Hocking, Lincoln, Muskingum, Pickaway, Athens, and Perry counties. All these people are invited to come up and participate because we're the only track around outside Columbus, and they have their own jurisdiction up there. But believe it or not, as big a city as Columbus is, we get more participation than they do.
Oh, that's great. That is fantastic. We're talking with Tom Clark, the director of the Lancaster Soapbox Derby, coming up this next week. Actually, it's on Saturday, June 21st, starting at 9 o'clock. Over the years, do you get to go to other races? I mean, I know we talk about Akron, but have you gone to Columbus? Have you gone to some other places?
Oh, yeah. We have, not only is it the Lancaster local soapbox derby, they have rallies all over the country. And if you buy a car, you can race that car somewhere every weekend throughout the country.
Wow.
And these rally kids accumulate points to qualify to go to Akron. And it's kind of like NASCAR, you know. They get so many points that qualify to go to Akron. So Akron, Ohio World Championships not only will have local champions, they'll have rally champions up there as well. And they'll have over 500 kids up there this year.
Now, is there a governing body for this? I mean, it's a national governing body, or does each area have their own?
Yeah, it's a national governing body. They have a national rally commission, which is separate from the All-American Soapbox Derby, but they work together and bring all these kids to Akron, and they'll actually have 6 world champions. They'll have, for each division, which is stock, super stock, masters. We'll have 3 in the local and 3 in the rally division.
Now, how many kids do you expect, or have you registered? Is it?
Yes, we shut off registration a couple days ago, and we're expecting around 40 kids this year. It's down a little bit. 2 years ago, we had 69 kids participate, one of the biggest years we've had in over 30 years. Last year, it was down to 59 kids. This year, we're looking at 39 to 40 kids, and a lot of things come into play. Obviously, unemployment and cost of building a car, whatever. But we're going to have a good field, and that's very average for us, and that's been our average for the last 30-some years that I've been involved.
I know that we talked a little bit about your involvement over the last 38 years, but you've kept involved with it. A lot of people do it for 5 or 6 years and don't get out. What's kept you there for 38 years?
Well, it gets in your blood. We got board members on the board. We have a board of directors. I'm the president, and then We have Jamie Allen as the vice president, and Andy's the derby director, and Melanie Hunt is the secretary, and Tracy Allen is the secretary or the treasurer. But we have about 15 or 18 other members below us, and it just gets in your blood, you know. I got into it, like I said, back in 1961 was my first year I raced, and I raced for 3 years.
Do you remember your first race?
Oh yeah.
Are you scared?
I could tell you the kid I beat too.
Talk about it.
Myron Cree. I beat Myron Cree going down the hill. And here's the funny thing. I had a white car. It was a wooden car. It came together like this, and it had a wooden nose on the front of it. And it was masonite wood sides. And back then at our facility, they had a return rail that you put your car on. This return rail would take you back up to the top of the hill, and it was on a great big giant motor, and it ran with this continuous great big 4-inch thick rope, and it ran all this, and then you hooked your car to that rope, and they turned it on, and that's what took you up top of the hill. Well, I forget who was working at the bottom of the hill, but whoever was running the run out area put my car on this return rail and pushed me, and I hit the car in front of me that was next to go up, split the front of my car open, and they gave me time to fix it. I had to get a couple nails and nail it back together, but I went down my second race and I got beat, and I blamed those kids for not knocking me against that car in front of me, because I had wind coming through those cracks. And that's what it's all about, wind resistance and gravity and, you know, all that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'll never forget that.
Do you remember your last race that you said, this is it, I'm not going to race anymore? Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was a black car. Terry Nichols had a black car with a silver stripe all the way around it, and I copied his car collars and went out there, and I had my uncle help me upholster my seat. I had a real nice upholstery seat. Hopefully I would get a prize for the best upholstery. You know, I didn't. I was upset about that. And, you know, I was like 15, and I got interested in girls, and I got out of it. But I stayed on as a junior director about a year later, and I was a junior director for 4 years. And then, of course, I started working. I was in high school, and I went to the military. And I got out of the military probably about 6 years after I got out. I was asked to serve on the board of directors of Lancaster Soapbox Derby. That was 1976, and I've been involved ever since.
Do you keep in contact with any of the racers? Do you see them that maybe somebody that you know is growing up now?
Oh yeah, on Facebook. Facebook.
Better than I do.
Yeah, we contact a lot of the past champs. We'll invite them back for special events and things like that. So we keep in touch, and we have Larry Wilkins, or not Larry Wilkins, but Larry Chapman. He was our 1963 champion. He had a great big purple car. We've got it in our museum out there. He lives in Las Vegas.
So where is the museum?
The museum's located at our facility.
Okay, all right.
And it's right top of the hill. We have every winning car in our museum from 1956 to last year.
Wow, that's neat.
Yeah, we're one of the only soapbox derby organizations in the world that has a permanent museum. Akron has one, but you can only see it during race week.
Right.
Ours takes 24 hours notice. You give me a call, I'll meet you out there and go through the museum.
No, will the museum be open during the race?
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's I know that all the things that go on, all the administrative things that go on with this, you've only got a few people that are doing this. I mean, there's you and a couple others that do this. I mean,
yeah, there's, you know, once again, somebody's got to do it, you know, and I'm trying to teach my vice president and other people, my derby director, you know, this is what you got to do. This is how you do this, and this is who you contact. And I've been doing it for so many years, it just comes natural to me. But now I've had to start writing this stuff down. You know, who knows, something could happen. I wouldn't be here for the race. But it's all wrote down, it's all documented, and in the fouls at Derby Downs in Lancaster.
That is neat.
Yeah.
That is. Has there been any changes that you thought, nah, I don't agree with this? I mean, the national group came
Yes,
down and
yes.
said, thou shalt do this. And
Yes. The thing that they've done here recently in the last probably 10 or 12 years is change the age limit. It used to be 11. Then they changed it down to 9. And then it was lowered to ages 8. Last year, the age limit was lowered to age 7.
That's young.
Yeah, and this year, starting in January of this past, they raised the age limit to 18 for the older kids that still want to compete, that they build a car around them, excuse me, and they want to stay in the Derby. So now the age limit is 7 to 18. I don't agree with that, but you know, that's the rules. My feeling is, you got a little 7-year-old, 40 pounds, is he gonna have enough butt to put that brake on? And that's our biggest concern, is the safety factor, getting that car stopped. I mean, we have a good barricade, so to speak, at the bottom of the hill, whereas if your brake would fail, you would go into like a sand pit,
Right.
would stop you right away. So,
How long is the track?
oh, it's like 657 feet long from start to finish.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, with another 50 or 60 feet of run-out area.
Okay. You mentioned earlier about they brought them back on road. How do they get the cars back up the hill now?
We trailer them.
Oh,
We
really?
trailer them, yeah. We have 4 trailers out there, and the trailer will hold 4 cars. And we need 4 vehicles to pull these cars, or pull these trailers back to the top of the hill. So once they come down, and obviously they got 2 phases, so both cars have to go back to the top of the hill. So we take them back up around this way, drop them off at the starting line, and continue on. And we got trailers running constantly all day long.
I was going to say, that's got to be an all-day.
Yes.
Wow, I wondered how they did that. When you look at future plans, I mean, I know Derby Downs needs maintenance all the time. Talk a little bit about what it takes to operate that.
We obviously, it's not a paid position,
No.
so you know, it's got to be in your blood, and you got to volunteer, and we have volunteers to do that. And I want to, you know, say a special thanks to the CTC, the Community Transition Center, because we use a lot of their manpower to come out. And my hats goes off to Travis Mathis down there. He's helped us out for probably the last 12 years, and those guys do a wonderful job. Weed whacking, painting, you know, whatever we need done, they'll do it for us, and it just saves us a lot of headaches.
That's there's just so much going on, and we were talking off air about all the different things that it takes to do this. You plan on staying around for a long time? You're gonna? I mean, 38 years is a long time.
I'm gonna stay until it ain't fun no more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you watch the racers go down, you still get that thrill.
You get goosebumps.
Goosebumps. Yeah.
I've got 2 granddaughters racing this year, so I've been helping them put their cars together, and
That's neat.
kind of rooting for them, you know. So.
Do you have any pictures of yourself that you show them that when you were racing?
Oh yeah. Well, their aunts and uncles and moms and dads have been past champions, so I've got 5 champions under my
No
belt.
kidding.
Yeah.
What are their names? What?
Lisa Clark Claude.
Okay.
She won in '82 and '84.
All right.
And T.J. Clark won in '86 and '89. And my youngest son, Nick Clark, won in 1995. So,
Wow.
you know, I haven't had a champion since '95, so maybe this will be the year.
That's neat. That's
Yeah, it's all, you know, it's a family involvement, and I did it. My kids have done it. Now my grandkids are doing it. So the circle keeps going.
absolutely. Yeah. Were you involved in a parent race? Were your kids there when you were running or driving down the hill? Were they yelling and screaming at you?
Yeah. I built a car last year and raced it, and I was doing really good. About 3/4 of the way down the hill, my steering broke.
Oh my.
Yeah, and I had to put the brake on, and of course we got a guardrail right there, so
Sure.
steered it over to that. But I had a real good chance of winning that, and my steering broke, so I'm going to fix it, and I'm going to compete again this year. Yeah, I'm going to win that trophy.
We've just got a few minutes left. Talking with Tom Clark from the Lancaster Soapbox Derby. The website is lancastersoapboxderby.com.
Right.
And one more time, I want to thank the sponsors, Pine Lake Estates, 40 at 8, American Legion Post 11, VFW Post 1380, Legion of the Moose and the Moose Riders, AMVETS Post 1985, and Precise Welding. And there was one more that you
915 Land Company.
said. Okay. That they, if you were unlimited funds and somebody said, here, what would you do with maybe the Downs itself, or?
Well, I'm telling you, right now, we're running out of space out there.
Okay.
All these championship cars, our museum is just about overflowing. So our biggest next project will probably be an expansion to the museum. We've got the room to expand going north, and that'll probably be our next one, because as long as I'm involved and we keep this thing going, we're going to have additional space to house our champions.
Right. And so donations, people want to help out, anything?
They could call me at my phone number, 974-4795, or get a hold of Andy, or go on the website. We'll get back with you. We're always accepting donations, and I just really want to take this opportunity to welcome everybody to the Soapbox Derby. Once again, it's free admission. It starts at 9. Should be over around 2 or 3 o'clock.
And rain or shine, right?
Well, no, we can't run in the rain.
Okay.
If it's pouring down, we'll have to postpone.
Okay.
But we did that about 5 years ago. We had a rain delay, but we got it all done in the same day.
Right.
So, but come on out, bring a picnic lunch. We got plenty of shade out there. We got a shelter house. We've got restroom facilities. So if you haven't been there, you don't know what you're missing. Bring the young kids out, because they would love to watch these kids go down the hill.
Tom Clark, we appreciate you coming in, talking about the Lancaster Soapbox Derby coming up June 21st, next Saturday. And again, we appreciate 38 years of service to children, and making it's not about just building a car. It's a lot more than that.
It's the camaraderie, the friendship, and the trust you have in one another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to this edition of Lancaster Perspective. I'm Mike Miller, and remember, until we meet again, let's make a difference.
Get out to the forest
Let the kids connect to their roots. It's gonna be so much fun. Yeah! Woo-hoo!
Hey, guys, wait up!
and discover the wonders of nature with your family.
These trees are the key to our way of life.
Fresh air,
What a glorious morning!
clean water,
Woohoo! This is great!
and endless forest adventure.
Let's rock this jungle!
Yo, this is untapped territory.
How amazing!
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.